Okay, good morning, everyone, and Hazak Abadu. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday morning, as we are back with a new parasha. Our parasha is called Parashat Metzora. Metzora, we know, of course, is a leper, someone who receives tzara'at, and some refer to our parasha. They don't like to use the word Metzora; it's a negative word, so they call it tahara. Tahara is the purification. Because our parasha deals with the purification process of someone who gets leprosy. Last week we spoke about the symptoms and we spoke about the diagnosis that we give a guy. And this week we speak about how they get better. And they have to go into quarantine. And then when they're done, so our parasha begins. Zot tihye Torat ha-metzora beyom tahorato. The following shall be the law of the Metzora on the day that they are purified. Vehuva Kohen, they'll brought to the Kohen, and the Kohen shall assess and make sure that they are clean. And then he has to bring 2 birds. And one of them he dips into a mixture of cedar wood and crimson thread and hyssop. And then they slaughter one bird, and they dip those things into the blood, okay, with water, etc. And the bird is sprinkled, okay? Okay, so they take 2 birds, they kill one of them, and then they take the other bird along with the wood and the thread and everything. They dip it in the blood and they sprinkle it on the guy. Okay, sprinkle on him 7 times, and then when all is done, what do they do with that bird? They let that bird go. Okay? So this is what's to be done when a person is cured. They bring 2 birds, and they also bring some wood and some hyssop and a few things, and they dip it, they sprinkle it on the guy. 1 bird is killed and 1 bird goes free. And the Ora Haim over here is nothing less than fascinating today. So let's see what he has to say. It's a very short Ora Haim for today. We're going to keep it short, but very deep lesson. Midrash, in the Midrash, our rabbis say that the word Metzora is actually the word Motzira. The word Metzora is really 2 words in one. Metzora, Motzira, a person who speaks bad. And the parasha is saying that this is the law of the one who speaks bad. On the day that he's pure, he's brought to the Kohen. Now, the Ora Haim wants to know, why'd you wait till now to allude to the fact that Motzira is 2 words in one? Metzora is Motzira. Why'd you wait till here to tell me this? You had a whole parasha last week that dealt with Metzora. Dozens of times we had the word. And not once did the Midrash over there last week say that a Metzora is 2 words, Motzira. It's only in this week's parasha that the Midrash decides to open up and to share and to tell us this hidush. Okay, and this is the question of the Ora Haim. It's an amazing question. We all know this, that a Metzora is 2 words in one. Motzira, he speaks bad. But why are you telling it to me now in this week's parasha? It's a little bit late, no? You should have told me this last week, the first time that the word appeared, you should have told it to me. Says the Ora Haim. I'll tell you why it says it here. Because here, we're telling you that the remedy, the korban that he brings are 2 birds. Now the Torah is coming and explaining. Why is it that the korban that this guy brings are birds? And why 2 of them? Why is it birds? Usually we don't find birds are the ideal korban. Usually it's last resort for the poor guy. You know, a guy can't afford, he brings birds. But ideally we bring cattle, we bring lamb. Why all of a sudden, right? As an example, korban Pesach, it's sheep, right? Why are we bringing over here birds? What's birds? That's what our Midrash is coming to answer. These are the law of the Metzora, says the Midrash. Motzira, this guy who's talking bad. This guy was talking bad. Letzad shehet'o hu bishvil lashon hara. Since this guy's sin is that he speaks gossip, lazeh tihyeh torato zot. Now I understand why his korban is birds. Lehavi tziporim hametzaftzefim dugmato. We're bringing birds which constantly chirp. Just as this man chirped his lashon hara, just like this guy talks all day. Now that's why we're bringing birds. Wow. So the reason he's bringing birds is because birds all day long, they tweet, right? They carry news from one place to another. They're spreading gossip about everyone. They're tweeting all day long. And this guy, he is Metzora, he's tweeting all day long. Today you can't use that expression anymore. You have to say he's Xing all day long, okay? The guy is sending X from place to place to place. So now you understand why the Midrash is sharing it on this pasuk. Because this pasuk raises a question, why birds? The answer is, birds, because birds talk, birds tweet. And this guy tweets all day. So that's why, because he's Metzora. Now there's an amazing lesson over here. There's an amazing lesson. And that is that we bring two birds. And birds are supposed to remind this man of what he did. What did this guy do wrong? Birds, you learn from the birds. You're speaking all day about people. And a man may say, so what? What did I do? What crime did I commit? What crime did I commit? Now today we have laws of defamation. There are laws. You have to be very careful. But sometimes we use our words freely, right? We say things that okay, I just said this about someone. I just said that about someone, and we have to realize that. What do you mean you just said? You just said. Words you didn't just say. Words could kill. It could ruin a marriage. Words could ruin a relationship. It could ruin a shidduch. It could ruin someone's career. Someone won't get a job. You could get someone fired just for words. What kind of words are you saying? You realize what you're saying about someone? Oh, I just said. Rabbi Yisrael Salanta used to say, if you say that the chazan is a fool and that the rabbi has a bad voice, then that's lashon hara. But if you say that the rabbi is a fool and the chazan has a bad voice, that's murder. That's murder. You're killing the guy. To just say, oh, I don't like that chazan, he doesn't have a good voice. I don't like that rabbi. I think he's all about the money, or he doesn't really care, or he's not inspiring. You could ruin somebody. You could ruin someone's career. You say this about people, someone's job, shidduch. You have to be very careful. Now, sometimes there's things that you should say opposite. You need to say to the contrary. You need to warn someone. Stay away from this person. They're not good marriage material. So you have to warn sometimes, but it's very complicated. You need to study the laws of lashon hara to know when yes, when no. So we tell this guy, look, you're talking all day. You're talking all day about people. You're like birds, you. All day long you're tweeting. So we bring birds to wake this guy up. Now, the guy may say, well, what's the big deal? I just said words. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't hurt anyone. Now it's very interesting that this man who has sarat, the Kohanim, everyone, they're looking at him, they're analyzing the color. Is it white? Is it yellow? They're bringing all these Benjamin Moore shades, comparing it, And then all of a sudden, the Kohen decides, and he says, Tameh. And the second he says the word Tameh, everyone runs away as if the guy is contaminated with disease. They run away. Wait, where's everyone going? Where's everyone going? What do you mean? Where are we going? We're getting away from you. You are Tameh. He says, what do you mean I'm Tameh? A second ago you were breathing on me, looking at my shirt, analyzing the color, all the rabbis, magnifying glasses, analyzing the shape. All of a sudden now the Kohen said one word and everyone's running away. And we say, yeah. Look what one word could do. One word could ruin someone's life. That's what you did. That's what you do with your words. You ruin people's lives. And the Kohen, he just ruined your life. He ruined your life. And now for 2 weeks you got to go. You got to go into quarantine. Go outside. Stay away from everybody. Stay away from everything. And if you have any occasions, sorry, you're going to have to miss them. Good luck. Maybe Zoom, right? And the guys now, scratching, what? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on over here. And we're teaching the guy a lesson. Look how a word, boom. A second ago you were fine, and then when you said a word destroyed your life. Not only that, but actually, our rabbis tell us that sometimes the Kohen won't say the word. Let's say the guy's about to get married. The Kohen, he says to the guy, he says, let me see. Wow, that looks pretty white to me. Tell me, do you have any weddings coming up or anything like that soon? He goes, yeah, actually next week I'm getting married. He goes, really getting married? Okay, you know what? Let me think about this one. Come back in a week. Let's talk after your wedding. I don't know, right now I don't want to talk about this. Let's come back later. So the guy says, whoa, wow, look at this. He could have ruined my life. And he decided not to. He decided to hold in his word. He could have said Tameh, and the second the Kohen says Tameh, boom, see you later. But the Kohen was so sensitive. And that's another lesson to the guy. Look what the Kohen's doing. This is how you should act. You should bite your tongue. Think about what you're doing. Maybe you're ruining someone's marriage. Maybe you're ruining someone's career. Hold it in. And this guy, the Or HaHaim, he explains a little bit further. Leprosy, this affliction on the skin or whatever, usually it comes from apshut v'zihum aguf. He says usually it comes from decay, right? Why do people get white hair? They're getting older, right? Usually it's a sign of decay. It's bile inside a person that leaves its mark on the flesh. V'davar zeh, usually this condition is caused by sorrow, by stress, by desolation of the mind, depression, right? So what would be the refuah when you see someone is getting wrinkly, old, white skin, white hair, right? Usually you see a guy like this, you see, wow, dude, you look very stressed. Take a week, right? You're getting black around your eyes. Get some sleep. Go away with your wife for a few days. Just go on vacation. Just get away. Breathe in the mountain air, right? The alpines, right? Go just get away for a few days, right? We tell the guy, be with your wife, be social, have a good time. Just, enjoy life. Relax. Do things that gladden a person's heart. Now, this guy, all of a sudden, he gets sara'at. And what do we tell him? The guy may say, Ki yaholi tiv'iyu. The guy may say, okay, this is natural. This is teva. It's happening. It's a natural ailment that's happening. And we tell him, no, it's because of your sin. And he's like, what do you mean it's sin? Nah, this is just age. This is just age. This is what happens with age. No, not your age. It's your sins. You're talking gossip. The guy, he thinks you're out of your mind. He says, he doesn't acknowledge what we're saying. So God, look what God did. Brilliant. Says the Or HaHaim. He says God commanded this guy to go into quarantine, isolated from everybody. Don't go with your wife. Don't go nowhere. You are going to be alone. Badad yeshev, sit, dwell in isolation. Begadav keruim, rend your garments. Rosho parua, the hair of his head shall be unshorn. Ve'asafam ya'ateh, you got to cover yourself. The guy's got to sit like a cocoon. He's got to sit alone. Stay away from everybody. Now you see this. Dvarim eluhem kefi ateva negdiyim lefuat sibat hanega. All of these things are contrary. They're counterintuitive. They don't make sense. Why in the world would I go alone? The reason I got white and hair and everything is because I'm depressed. I'm too lonely. I need to start being social. We tell the guy, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's because you're speaking gossip. He looks at it like we're nuts. No, I'm not gossiping about nobody. Anyways, the guy goes into quarantine and he's doing everything contrary to what would make sense to him. He's staying alone. He's covering himself up. He's not relaxed. He's staying super stressed and anxious. And and you would think it would make his condition worse. All of a sudden, he gets better. He gets better, the guy. The guy notices, even though he did these things, which by nature are contrary to his recovery, but since he focused, he repented, they went away. He admitted that it was because he exercised his tongue to speak slander that the affliction appeared. And because he repents, now his sin went, it purifies his condition. Now the affliction is gone. Now the guy admits. Now the guy says, oh, you know what? I think you were right. I think it came because of gossip. Because really, there's no reason that it should go away and get better if the guy's isolating himself, right? Why should it get better? But now the guy realizes this was a spiritual disease. This wasn't physical. And now our pasuk is saying, Zot tihye torat motzi shem ra. Our verse is saying, the affliction of tzarat shall be an appropriate punishment for the slanderer. And it's only going to be known that it was because of slander, beyom tahorato, when he gets better. It's because the guy got better, now retroactively he understands this wasn't a physical condition. This was a spiritual condition. Before he got better, he was still in doubt. He wasn't sure. Is it like the rabbi said, or is it like maybe it's just physical? Now he got better. He says, oh, you know what? It must be spiritual. If it was physical, why did I get better? I didn't do anything that should cause my recovery. My sickness came because of sadness, loneliness. I remained lonely, I remained sad. And yet I'm better. Must be it's spiritual. Unbelievable Ora Hayim. And this guy, he knows on his own it's because of his gossip. You don't need witnesses to tell him you spoke gossip. Usually in Beit Din, you need 2 witnesses. Over here, you don't need witnesses. On your own, go into quarantine and you'll see on your own, it went away. This is spiritual, and it must be Metzora, Motira, and we bring birds, and the birds remind the guy, look, you're talking. And reflect on that. Reflect on your speech. Start thinking more about what you say about people. You could ruin their lives, like the Kohen ruined your life. He ruined your life for 2 weeks. He said Tameh, and boom, everyone ran away from you. And we bring birds. Now there's one more lesson. The birds that we bring, we don't kill both. We kill one bird, but the other bird we keep alive. Remember, we killed one bird, but the other bird we dipped in the blood, and then we sprinkled it on the guy, and then we took the bird and we let him go. We freed the bird. The message is, there's a certain form of speech that's got to get rid of it. Certain birds you got to kill. But there's one bird, there's speech in your life that should live on. The message to this guy is, don't become now a mute. Don't now stop talking for the rest of your life. That's not the point. The point is, continue talking good things. You were talking now, you were ruining. Now the guy said, okay, you know what? I'm going to shut my mouth for the rest of my life. No. God gave you a power of words. Use that power. Use it for good. Right? Don't go to mute. Don't become the opposite. Use what God gave you. In life, we speak about this often. In life, you got to use the gifts that Hashem gave you. Use them, but use them for the right things. So if you could speak, so speak. But speak good. And we have to realize that the same way words are very dangerous and can kill, Shlomo HaMelech writes, Chaim ve'mavet beyad halashon, that the tongue is like a sword. You could kill people. You could ruin someone's career, again, marriage, job, shidduch, whatever. But Chaim, he writes, you could also cure people. You could also give life. You could save. The tongue is dangerous, but it's also very, very, very medicinal. Marpeh lashon etz chaim, Shlomo HaMelech says. The lashon is marpeh, it's a cure. The tongue could heal. The tongue, you go to someone, you tell them a nice word. Have a nice day. Wow, you look great. Honey, wow, you got color today. Did you put makeup today? You look great today, right? Now, wow, she feels amazing because she didn't use makeup. She feels great. You change your whole day. How long did it take you to say that? 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Imagine you had 7 seconds and you could change someone's day. Isn't that worth it? That's a big investment, my friends. And we are able to heal the people around us. The tongue can heal, not from physical, but there's something called emotional pain. People are sick physically, some people are sick emotionally. Shlomo HaMelech knew about emotional sickness thousands of years ago. And he knew what it means to be emotionally sick. And today I would say most people are emotionally sick, not physically. Everyone could use encouragement, a good word, a lift. And you tell a guy a nice comment, you lift the guy for a month. The guy for a month, he's remembering how you complimented his sweater. Just a silly comment, just a nice, right? Something real. Not lying, I'm not telling you to lie. Something real. You could lift the guy up. That's what you could do. Marpeh lashon etz chaim, says Shlomo HaMelech. You could heal someone, and it cost you nothing. That's the magic of a compliment. It doesn't cost you anything, right? And if we think about our tongues, our mouths, our lives, our day, how many times a day do we compliment people? Right? If we actually, I want you to count today. How many times did you tell someone something negative? How many times did you, right? And most of the time we think, Rabbi, I didn't insult anyone today. I was passive. I didn't do anything wrong, right? I came home. I could have complained about this. I could have pointed out that, and I didn't. So we think that just by not doing, that's very passive. We could be much better. We could be proactive in using our words for good. We have to, right? And so make it a habit of yours to compliment today 3 people. Today you're going to compliment 3 people. You're going to tell them something nice, a real compliment. Make it a habit. You have the ability. A simple thing. Your doorman, your boss, your employee, the secretary, the bus driver. You could tell someone a little word. You could change a guy's life. Your spouse or botai. It starts at home. Our children. A little compliment. The marpeh lashon etz chaim. So the words are very powerful. And so this is the lesson to the Metzora. The guy brings first of all, he realizes now that his sickness is not because of physical. His sickness is he's doing something spiritually wrong. He's speaking gossip about people. So he brings birds, because birds speak all day. We're telling him, dude, stop being like a bird. But then we tell him, actually, you should be like birds. Just be like certain birds. Talk, but talk healthy. Talk complimenting. Talk positive speech. There's so many amazing things that we can say. And it's free. It didn't cost us anything. You give a guy $100. It costs you money. You give a guy a good word, it costs you nothing. And in a way, actually, most people would rather any day a compliment than $100. Because $100 helps me, physical, financially. But the compliment is my honor. It helps me emotionally. That's much more important. Honor is more important than money, right? And so, and you see the fact of this, that a lot of people, if you offer them honor or money, which one would they rather? Anyone would take honor any day. Money, people spend money to get honor, right? You spend money to get awarded, complimented, people to honor you, right? People spend money. They don't want money, they want honor. Honor is the biggest on the totem pole. It's the highest level of ta'ava of a human being, right? Kavod is the ego, it's the biggest thing. And so we can lift someone's ego. We can lift someone's spirit with a compliment. So give the guy money is nice. And Yaakov Avinu writes this. Yaakov Avinu said to Yehuda, his son, Ulbein shinayim mehalav. It's better to make someone's teeth white than to give them milk. You give a guy milk, so you fed him his physical. But if you make the guy smile, you've fed his emotions. And Yaakov Avinu knew it's much more important, the emotions than the physical. And that's why the opposite is also true. If you steal from someone, it's bad. But the Gemara says, Gadol ona'at dvarim me'ona'at mamon. It's worse to hurt someone emotionally with words than it is to steal from someone financially. Financially is bad, but you're hurting only their money. But emotionally, you're hurting their emotions. Words, they could hurt people much more, much deeper wounds. You could give a guy back money that you stole from him. You can't return to a guy honor that you took from him. Right? That embarrassment, you cannot ever exchange that. You cannot return it. You cannot undo. $100 in the bank, I can put it back and nothing happened. So we have to realize the power that we have with positive speech. We can lift people, we could change people, we can make their day, we can make their month, we could change their life. A little word, a little compliment. And we could do that. And so we take the birds and we allow the bird to live. And that is the message that we have to the Metzora, to this person who speaks gossip. Okay, my friends, it's the top of a year. Hashem should bless us to be able to use our words in a positive way, in a healthy way, in an encouraging way. Amen. Have a wonderful day and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.